All right, I'm going to cut across to our breaking news coming in. India won against England, the test match. India defeat England by 36 runs. T20 match that India has won to clinch 5-match T20 series 3-2. Big news, big breaking coming in with India defeating England by 36 runs to clinch 5-match T20 series 3-2. We're looking at Virat Kohli, who's been the major player in the game here. He's contributed immensely, with India now managing to defeat England by 36 runs to clinch the 5-match T20 series 3-2. This is indeed a massive victory for India. We're looking at Virat Kohli being the major contributor here, with India winning this 5-match T20 series 3-2. Of course, India clinching the series here. It is a big win for India. The T20 match that was on, we're looking at India now clinching victory with Virat Kohli almost being the main contributor in this match here. Here's some big breaking news coming in. We're looking at India versus England, the T20 match series. Let's quickly cut across to Boria Mazumdar joining us live for more details. Boria, right over to you for all the cricket expertise here. India defeating England by 36 runs to clinch 5-match T20 series 3-2. Take us through the details, ball by ball commentary here. We're waiting to hear who was the one who took away the match.
Thanks, Nabila. Frankly, there was not one. There was everybody. I mean, if you actually asked me that 36 is just a number, I thought India won by 100 runs. That was the kind of overwhelming dominance that India had in the match. The way they batted, the way they bowled, the way they fielded. The man of the match for me is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, 4 overs, 15-2. When you are sort of, the opposition is chasing 224 and you bowl that kind of spell. But having said Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, look at the batting. Rohit Sharma 60, Virat Kohli 80, Surya Kumar Yadav 30 of 17 balls, and then Hardik Pandya 37 of 17. 224, Nabila. 99 times out of 100 will not be chased down. Will not be chased down. And it wasn't chased down. England is the world's #1 team. You have beaten them. And think about this. You were 1-2 down. You started the series scoring 124 in 20 overs. You finished the series scoring 224 in 20 overs against the same bowling attack. So what does that tell you? There is a never say die attitude. You were there with me when we discussed the Australia win. You were there with me when we discussed the Indian Test series win over England. You are there once again. You're very lucky. Be there with me when India wins the World T20, because this is a statement. India making a statement that we will go into that World Cup on home soil as the favorites. This was an emphatic, telling win, telling England we at home are better than any contemporary side in World Cup.
Yeah, we're looking, you said a lot of them have contributed. If I could ask you the 5 takeaways from this match for India to be clinching this 5-match T20 series. It is a big win for India, like you said, after Australia. This has been a huge moral booster, and here comes a victory for India against England yet again. 5 takeaways from this match here.
5 takeaways. First, never say die attitude. You lost the toss, doesn't matter. Basically, this series, the first 3 games, if you see, Nabila, any team that wins the toss wins the game. India took it out of the equation in game 4. Again, they lost the toss, and they told themselves, no matter, we will beat England. Takeaway 1. Takeaway 2, all of a sudden you had Rohit Sharma with Virat Kohli opening the batting. They knew that they were banking on their batters, 6 batters to do the job. They added an extra bowler, and that came good. So Rohit and Virat, takeaway 2, that might well be your opening combo going into the World Cup. Takeaway 3, the intensity with which the batsmen batted. When Rohit Sharma got out, Surya Kumar Yadav came in, 2nd ball 6, 3rd ball 6, constantly putting England under pressure, continued by Hardik Pandya and Virat Kohli. Takeaway 4, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar at the top of his bowling mark. The 1st and 3rd over, sensational. England 1 for 1, and then in that 3rd over, tremendous bowling from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. And takeaway 5, the Indian fielding backing up the bowlers, picking up wickets constantly. This English batting attack is brilliant, but at no point in time were they allowed to settle. That is the 5th takeaway as far as I'm concerned. India mentally, in their heart, in their mind, believe that even if they lose the toss, conditions might be against them, due might be against them, they have the team to beat England. Tosses do not win cricket matches. Ability does.
Absolutely.
Potential does. And that's what India demonstrates.
And that's what we saw of today's match as well. What a resounding victory. Rahul Rawat as well joining us. Rawat, over to you. The victory that we've clinched this time, really a huge moral booster for India.
Well, absolutely. And it's very heartwarming to see the way this Indian team has fought back. I think it has become a hallmark of this team. If you see the tour of Australia, we started the white ball series. They were behind, then they came back. They came back so well. They even won the test series after being 36 all out in the first test match. And then against England in the test series here in India, they lost the first test, but how well they came back. And here again, not once but twice, they were down and it seemed they were out as well. But the way this Indian team has fought back, it speaks volumes about the confidence that this team has. I think we are also joined by Sunil Gavaskar, the former India captain. Sunil, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Sunil, you must be very pleased with the fact this team has gotten back, fought back in the series.
Well, it's actually no surprise, having seen them in Australia, after having lost the first test, the way they came back, even against England in the test series, they lost the first test, they came back. Here in the T20 series, they lost the first game and they came back. And maybe, the trick is that India should lose the first game, so they come back so well and so strongly every time. Because sometimes, when you win the first game, you tend to think, this is going to be easy. So maybe, the shocker that you get when you lose the first game is a great wake-up call.
And Sunil, before the series began, Virat Kohli mentioned that India needs to change the formula, the way they play T20 cricket. But it seems they might have cracked the code. The victories, especially in this test, in this T20, they didn't stop after they lost Rohit Sharma. The way they carried on, beat Rohit Sharma, beat Virat Kohli, beat Surya Kumar Yadav. Of course, Ishan Kishan didn't play. Hardik Pandya came up the order in the last T20 as well. So, has the Indian team cracked the code to actually the way they want to play this T20 cricket?
Well, that can only be seen in the next few games, isn't it? But in this game, it was absolutely brilliant because the way they got off to a start, and that's the thing. Your best batsman in a limited overs format should get to bat as many overs as they can. And it was therefore very important for Virat Kohli to come in at the top of the order. Maybe KL Rahul's loss of form has been a blessing in disguise, because this has given us an opening combination to look forward to. Like when Sachin Tendulkar was batting down the order in one-day cricket, and then he was, sent up to open the batting. And look what a transformation it had, not just on his batting, but on the whole team. So clearly, I think your best batsmen, they have to bat as many deliveries as they can.
Boria, a big match, a big occasion, a big stage, and big boys actually joined the party. Rohit Sharma, that fabulous 64 to set the tone, and then Virat Kohli, right from ball one, he was there on the wicket, and he stayed there right till the end, scoring that magnificent unbeaten 80.
Absolutely, Rahul. And as Sunny Bhai said, I mean, you also said the same thing, crack the code. For me, the real game was game 4. 3 games, team winning the toss wins. All of a sudden, India changes that with that 8-run win. They had momentum going into this game and they looked unstoppable. They were confident. Virat Kohli, not so fluent as Rohit to start with, and then accelerated like the way he does. Surya Kumar Yadav, second ball 6, third ball 6, never let the pressure get to Virat even after the fall of a wicket. Hardik Pandya came and accelerated. 224 will win you games. You know that. But Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, comeback series, look at that spell, 415-2. Telling the world that you add Jasprit Bumrah, you add Mohammad Shami, you add Ravindra Jadeja to this team. That's a mouth-watering, really, really good bowling attack that you're talking about. So all I pray is the team remains fit. If they are, this is a side that will go into the home World Cup, certainly as one of the favourites.
Unlike Test series, England, or rather Eoin Morgan, chose to have his best possible team for this T20 series, because he is very much aware that 6 months later, England will have to come back to India to play the T20 World Cup. But if you add a Ravindra Jadeja in this team, if you add a Jasprit Bumrah, in this team. They look perhaps the most potent team in the world. Sanibai, if you can take this one.
Oh, okay, you did. I didn't know you were asking me. Yes. I think if you have Jasprit Bumrah added to this particular squad, and then the way Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled today, certainly the opening pair makes a big difference, because what you want is for the opposition to be pegged back at the start, not to let them get off to a flying opening. And both Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar Kumar capable of not just bowling the dot balls, but also taking wickets, the early wickets, which can put the opposition on the back foot. As far as India's batting is concerned, there never really has been a concern. It's always been the bowling in limited overs cricket, because we've not been able to defend. Remember, at the start of the series, we were talking about the fact that India, when they are defending, they have not been as assured as when they are chasing. And what we've seen in these last two matches is that the Indian bowling has come to the party, and that's great news.
One. Who's your man of the series? Virat Kohli has scores of, in fact, he scored 3 half centuries. And Shardul Thakur was also amongst the wickets today also in this match. Those double wicket over, and again in the last game as well. Who's your man of the series as far as India is concerned?
My man of the series clearly is Virat Kohli, because in T20 cricket, to get 3 scores over 70 is really terrific. It's phenomenal, because it's not easy, because you're looking to play the big shots. You get out, you can score 20-30 quick 20-30 and you get out, but to stay right till the end, and 2 of those innings have been unbeaten innings. So yes, I think with the kind of batting that he has displayed, he would be the man of the series.
And Bore, I'm sure Sanibai is there. You also would have a few questions to ask. You may also go ahead. But before that, your man of the match, Virat for his unbeaten 80. Rohit Sharma for setting that platform, because of which maybe India reached 224 for 2. Or Bhuvneshwar Kumar for that fabulous spell of bowling.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because if you see that England batting attack till Sam Curran they bat, and we have seen 200 plus getting chased down. This was a very good batting week. Jason Roy, 4 overs 15. So you're talking about an asking rate of 12 required, and you've given 4. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar for me is the man of the match. My question for Sunil Gavaskar, Sunny Bhai, now India has got the formula. India knows what to do. So are you going to now say that, okay, come the next T20 game, should it be Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma for you at the top, now that this is a very potent opening attack? Or would you want to get back KL Rahul? Would you think of Ishan Kishan? Will you persist with this opening formula?
I would persist with this opening formula, because look at the way they've fed off each other as well. You could see the interaction between the 2 of them whenever each of them got the big shot going. So that is so important. When that happens, when your 2 leading players, the 2 best batsmen in the team, are showing the way, it becomes easier for those coming down the order. So when Suryakumar Yadav, also batting for the second time in India colours, played that lovely cameo, and then Hardik Pandya, that was a great move from Ravi Shastri to send Hardik Pandya at number 4, because at that particular point of time, we didn't know who was going to come at number 4. It could have been Shreyas Iyer, it could have been Rishabh Pant, but it was Ravi Shastri, the coach, who decided to send, I'm sure it was Ravi Shastri, who decided to send Hardik Pandya, and it was a brilliant move. So all in all, yes, I would say that Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma should open the batting.
The other question, Sunny, is we have oftentimes in limited overs cricket, especially in the 20-over format, struggled with finishing. But now with Hardik Pandya batting the way he is in Australia, here, and with Rishabh Pant coming good, playing the big shots, all of a sudden, India's closing overs look sorted. Is that a big boost and a big plus from this series?
Huge plus, because don't forget that there was also Shreyas Iyer waiting, and Shreyas Iyer also can play the big innings, the big shots. There was Rishabh Pant, who has batted at number 4 in the previous matches, but he was pushed down, and Hardik Pandya was sent. Normally the temptation is to have a left and right hand combination at the crease. Normally the temptation would have been looking at Rishabh Pant's recent form, when he's really been hammering the ball into all corners of the field. That would have been the temptation to send him at number 4 as well. But that was not looked at. They sent in Hardik Pandya, and it worked like magic. And therefore, yes, I think the finishing touch is definitely there. So India look unbeatable as far as this World Cup is concerned. It'll take something special or some real bad day for India not to win the T20 World Cup.
Fingers crossed, Sunny bhai. One more from me before I toss it back to Rahul. Even when the last couple of balls were being bowled, India had actually won the game. But even then, if you see Rohit Sharma's reaction when Shardul bowled one and it got tonked for 6, and even during the prize distribution ceremony on the host broadcaster was showing it, Rohit was talking to Shardul. Incredible intensity. That is what it is, that even if we might have won the game, we will not let England get even one extra freebie. That is the kind of intensity which is making this team ruthless. And it is heartening to see. Your thoughts?
Definitely. Because look, they've won. But at the same time, to know what mistakes you've made and try, and the senior man trying to tell the younger man, the little less experienced man, is an important aspect. Sometimes, you could say, okay, let's talk about it after a couple of days. But no, when it is actually fresh, when Shardul Thakur has bowled that last ball for a 6, he can be talked to and told, look, why did you bowl that ball? You could have bowled it over here. Maybe you should have tried to bowl that over there. Something like that coming from an experienced and a winning captain like Rohit Sharma makes a huge difference. Because next time around, in a similar situation, Shardul Thakur will remember it, because it has happened straight away after he gave that 6.
Let me just get you one more before I give it back. In Australia, we beat Australia in the T20s and also in Test cricket. We've beaten England in T20s and again in Test cricket. Is this the best few months of Indian cricket across formats that you've seen in a long, long time?
Definitely, without a doubt. I think this Indian team has given us so much of joy over the last 5-6 months. It's hard to describe. I mean, certainly for a former cricketer, to see the way the Indians have been respected, the way the Indians have been rejoiced, even by the opposition supporters, is so good to see. Because the Australians, when India won at Brisbane, yes, the team was disappointed. Some of the Australian spectators would have been disappointed. But the ovation that the Australians gave to the Indian team after they won at Brisbane, and then, of course, when you come at home and you see the way the Indians pick themselves up after losing, that is such a terrific sight for a former cricketer.
Rahul, back to you.
We'll hold our thoughts, gentlemen, and sports, as we know, is all about action. And let's take you to the action-packed innings that actually set up this series win for India. Big match, and the big boys were at the forefront, with Rohit Sharma in top gear right from the start.
Well, he's got through with the shot and hit it well enough.
With Virat Kohli and Rohit at the top, India raced to 60 in 6 overs, and a 6 of Sam Curran got Rohit to his half-century of just 30 deliveries.
And Rohit Sharma reaches a well-deserved half-century.
A 5th T20 international century for Rohit seemed to be a realistic possibility, but Ben Stokes got England their first breakthrough.
Oh, he plays on. Was a magnificent innings from Rohit Sharma, but it's over.
Suryakumar Yadav resumed from where he left in the last game and began his innings with a second ball 6 this time.
Offside. If there is one signature shot.
England couldn't stop the run flow, with Virat and Suryakumar toying with the bowling.
Oh, there he goes again. That's even better.
It took a spectacular effort from Chris Jordan at the boundary to put an end to Suryakumar's blistering innings of 32 of 17 balls.
Has pulled off an absolutely incredible bit of fielding here. He sprinted round, plucked it out of the air with one hand, thrown it straight to his teammate.
Virat carried on and got to his 3rd half-century of the series, and pressure was very much evident on English players.
And that's 50 for Virat Kohli. His 28th international T20 50.
Virat finished with an unbeaten 80 as India set England a mammoth 225-run target to win the series.
Long two.
Well, what an incredible start to the day this was for Team India. And of course, it is going to be celebrated. Sunny bhai, is this the template that India is going to follow with Virat and Rohit opening the innings? And if they do, where does it leave the likes of KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, or maybe Shikhar Dhawan? Or is it the end of the road as far as Shikhar Dhawan is concerned?
Well, sometimes, sadly, some of the players who are good enough to be playing in the 11 don't always get the opportunity. That has been the case right throughout the history of Indian cricket. There have been some very, very fine players who never got the opportunity to play for India because there were others who were just a little bit better. And therefore, the Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli opening partnership is definitely something that India needs in the 20 overs format. You've only got 20 overs. And supposing Virat Kohli comes into bat at number 3 in the 11th over or the 12th over, in a way, you've actually wasted those 10, 11 overs. You might have got to 100 in those 10, 11 overs, scoring at 10 runs an over. But who knows, with Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma there, you might have got at about 15 runs an over and got to 150. So yes, the two best batsmen need to bat as many deliveries as they can, as many overs as they can. And so therefore, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli would be my opening pair going forward for the World Cup.
Well, thank you very much, Sunny bhai, and thanks to Boria as well. 36 runs is what India won this match by, and in 2 days' time, the ODI series begins. Over to you, Nabila.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Team India. We're super elated. India has won this match against England by 36 runs to clinch the 5-match T20 series. On that note, I'm going to slip into a short break. Be right back. Do stay tuned.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.